What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gravity the Beast. Welcome back to the Big Cap. No bullshit, just conversations about passions, philosophies, and perspective.
We out here.
We out.
We out here.
So we got a different episode for y'all today. I got some homies with me. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Well, I guess Twan, real nigga. I'm going to start it off. Fuck it. Know what I'm saying? Hair down shit.
You already know.
We don't even know who introduced
the co-host.
himself.
He out here.
Hey, bro,
he stay out here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know how it go, bro. We've been.
Go ahead around the table. Go ahead, you next.
My name Dom. You feel me? I'm always here.
Real shit. OG.
It's
Go.
your boy Young King. You know how we do. Please excuse us. You know, we took a few shots before we started, so you know how we get.
That's everyday
know,
shit.
Yeah, everyday
It's
shit.
the Big Cap. We out here. We out here. Okay, so today's topic is hypergamy.
Right.
Now, me and Twan already understood. Like we said, like these next few episodes are going to be kind of based off. Well, not all of them, but a lot of the topics we have are based on introducing people to different philosophies and concepts that were in Rollo Tomasi's book, The Rational Male. So we listened to a little clip, like 15 minutes into the Audible audiobook of the book.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to discuss y'all thoughts on that, what y'all feel, and like what you disagree with, agree with, how you've seen that in your personal life, or where you disagree based off what you've seen in your personal life. And then we'll go from there. So starting with you, Dom.
All right, so from what I've seen
Mm-hmm.
and what I've heard,
Uh-huh.
I could agree with it to a certain point.
Focus at the mic when you speak.
I could agree with it to a certain point. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So like, I've seen where if you've seen celebrities, certain females do go for certain people
Mm-hmm.
just for either that money or just because of the attraction of how they look.
Yeah.
Then you have those who would, and this is where I do kind of disagree, because you do have those who will go through thick and thin, no matter where you've been at or where you're going to, you know what I mean, that will stick to you, but like, know that if anything happens, they can blame it on you.
What do you mean when you say that?
Like, I gotta say, all right, so the whole point of having kids, the male to be perceived as the caretaker,
The provider and
the
protector.
provider, protector, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so those certain females, like, they chase after that man who has that money. And it's
Oh, continue. I don't want to cut you off.
that's a
I just wanna
provider.
elaborate, yeah.
So that's a provider right there.
Mm-hmm.
So as the protective perspective comes in hand, is he has that money. He can pay for someone who can, or buy something now in the age of something that can support us and protect us for police, anything, you know what I mean? To those who, on the other hand, the other side I was explaining, who will go through, it is what it is. We lost something. You know what I mean? I know you're going to be there no matter what. It is what it is. You know, like, we'll get the money when we get the money, or,
Yeah.
you know, we'll fight our way back to it. But also, no, on the other hand, once he get that money, it's you know, or I know he'll be there to protect me and my kids, but what about providing?
Well,
what about
you
this?
talking about the stepmother aspect? I mean, excuse me.
What about
stepmother aspect?
I'm saying, like, to the kids. Now, for the sexual aspect, it's always going to be there.
Yeah.
To her, because she knows that she's always going to be there. But to the high maintenance one, it's, oh, I don't really care about all that. I can always find another man to give me what I want. You know what I mean? Because I'm always going to look good. So I'm going to find someone who look good with me, or who got that in the aspect of being there for me, not for whatever I got, but for me. You know what I mean? So that's how I'm, like, perceiving it in multiple different, like, directions. You know what I mean? So if you look into a male's aspect, is she look good. I like everything she got. This what I want right now for the night. Just for the night. I can always find somebody else who look just as good. I'm confident. I'm cocky. I don't need all that. I got my own money. I know whatever's mine is mine. I know if I have an offspring, or, You know what I'm saying? I'm going to protect that no matter what.
Right.
But then you also had the guys who's just like, man, I don't care about none of that.
Yeah. Well,
I just,
that goes into different aspects. I feel you. Continue.
You know what I mean? I get what you know what I mean? But like,
yeah.
But his money is there though.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So certain females sees as if, oh well, he got money, he look good, but he not a caretaker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And certain females still get attracted to it.
Yeah, for specific reasons.
And that's just their sexual aspect.
Okay. I
want
to elaborate.
You know what I mean?
See, I feel you, and I feel like there's a lot of what you just said that I do want to touch on because I get why you're saying what you're saying, and though I might disagree with certain aspects of it, I feel like it's for certain reasons that I want to elaborate on, opposed to just try to sum it up.
Right.
So let's go to Josh real quick, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna say something. I want to hear what both of y'all feel about it because everything you just said. It's based on a certain understanding and belief,
right?
So we gonna dive into that one in a second. All right, Josh, what are your thoughts based on what you just heard?
I feel like I agree with it for the most part.
Yeah.
And for real, it was just a lot of eye-opening moments personally. Yeah. Like, just when he talked about how like women are gonna want to like a beta male provider, and they want somebody to sexually satisfy them.
Right.
Like they want two different partners. Like naturally, like that's a different. You know what I mean? That's just like I never heard something like that before. Like I've never considered something like that before, and like hearing something like that, it's like you can kind of. It's not that like to say all women would be that way.
Yeah.
Off rip or like the way we're raised in society today, even. But it's just. To say that that's a natural thing, you know what I mean?
It's a little different.
It's a little different to take it that way because it's like, all right, well, now I understand why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Woman will have a kid with somebody and then let another nigga raise their kid for 2-3 years. My mom was just talking to me about a story where man she knew was going through that same situation. Right. And I thought that was crazy because we had been talking about that beforehand. And it's like this shit really happens. Mm-hmm. Like in real life, it happens every single day. And it's like you can't.
Yeah.
Like the conversation needs to be started. That's how it feels. Like we gotta start having that conversation of like, well, we gotta have both sides take accountability. And understanding how like that makes a dude feel and.
That's a deeper. Not to cut you off, I'm sorry, but that's a deeper part of the conversation when we start to discuss like accountability, and because
I mean,
on certain levels there are certain things that whether male or female we might be hard. Well, all right, I'll try my best to be more raw. When it comes to the aspect of hypergamy, women are hardwired not to take accountability for certain things. So that's I feel like the main issue. It's like. It's why you hear I was drunk and he was hot. I'm sorry. It's like that's. I mean, to some extent, that's taking accountability. But you're saying I was drunk. You're not saying I chose. But they're hardwired for that. At the end of the day, it's about procreation. You know, when a guy says he loves his wife, and he's rich as hell, he taking care of her, doing everything for her, and he goes and fucks another woman.
Yeah.
She looks at him like he betrayed her, and he's like, "What did you do?" Well, men are hardwired to spread their seed. In the same essence, right? That doesn't necessarily mean the woman is going to go cheat, because if she values you high enough and she understands you as a person, she understands she can't just go revenge cheat on you. She understands that he is in a position to hold her down in a way that she is not positioned to hold him down. This is why women let go when niggas cheat to a certain extent, is because they understand the value of that man regardless of that particular act.
They be talking about cheat respectfully.
Oh yeah,
I mean, but that's a whole nother aspect of it. Yeah. Before I get into my spiel and respond to what you had initially said, Twan, what are your thoughts so far? You've heard it already, but getting back into it, what were your thoughts?
Basically, I feel like hypergamy. It's like basically the truth of shit, like the natural aspect of it, and it's like you can't hold them at fault for it, low key,
right?
Because that's how they're born, and that's how they're women.
Yeah,
and that will never change. Because hypergamy to me is basically how women value men sexually, and it's dualistic. It's either the nigga's attractive or he's a good provider. but she can never pick a side. Each side is always an option to a certain extent.
My thing is like, can a nigga be both? You know
Well, all right, so this is where I go into addressing both of which y'all just said. So this is the point, right? Like when we speak to the mic, please. But overall, right, to address both of you, right? And I feel like this is the concepts that most people, or most men especially, don't really think about as deep as they should, or as deep as is necessary to help them get through their lives, right?
Right.
So when it comes down to it, right, women are hardwired to find the best provider and the best physical specimen. The more attractive you are, healthy you are, stronger you are, the better your genes are going to be, the better genes to pass on to the next level, right? But then at the same time, a woman also requires someone to be there as a provider, someone she could trust in, someone she can believe will help her get to a certain level of comfort just on a straight provision level.
Yeah.
Okay, so those two things are the two dominant factors in women. The only issue is there are more women in this planet than there are men.
Right.
If every man were to find a woman and just say, hey, you're mine now. If every man did that and the woman just said yes, there's going to be more women that are lonely.
Right.
It's in their DNA to understand they have to fight for the man that they want. The only issue with that when we get into hypergamy is that most women don't want average. Now, that's not their fault. It's hard wiring. Right. Women want the best they can get.
Right.
But then when we look into the numbers, women tend to only have sex with or interact with in romantic levels with the top 10 to 20% of men.
Okay.
So when we get into that, right, when you look at guys who aren't in the top 10 to 20% and you see them with women, you might question why. So you might see one guy that he's attractive, he fits, so he gets a lot of women, he has a lot of sex. Then you got another guy who got a lot of money, he might be ugly, but he knows how to work his money and he gets females, right? Those are the two ends of the spectrum. You know, the financial provider, the beta male provider, or you have, well, and this is, I think, more the second book, right? The alpha fucks beta bucks. So the whole point being, right? If a woman is with a rich guy who takes care of her and does everything financially for this woman, and then that woman cheats, well, it's because more than likely he didn't satisfy her in the other ways she needs to be satisfied. And in the same essence, if she has the guy who is attractive and he's fucking her, but at the end of the day, he's broken, he's not doing shit, well, at that point in time, maybe she just wanted some dick. Why did she want the dick? Maybe she saw that if she did get pregnant, whether or not he could provide for the child, those are good genes to pass on. Now, yeah, you can have both, right? You could have a guy that is healthy and well off, fortunate, has a lot of money. And those are the type of men you see more than not have the more successful relationships if they choose to have a monogamous relationship.
Right.
It is, and then we get into deeper levels of it where how we are as people, how we communicate. Some men are more honest than others. Some men have more integrity than others. It's a difference between saying, hey, I'm a high value man, so I'm going to sleep with other women from time to time, versus you're my one and only, I'm never going to step out on you, and she finds out you cheated. Those are two different things. At the end of the day, when you're at a certain level, especially as a man, we earn our value over time. We wake up, or we come out of our mom's vagina or stomach, if you're a C-section baby, you're like, literally, you come out of your mother,
right? You
go to school, you learn, you work out. But like when we talk about the idea of masculinity in general, like it tends to be shamed in our current society. But when we say boys will be boys, that is what it is. We learn from one another. When we go through little like petty fights as a child, when we're like, I'll race you for $1, when it's like, yo, you can't play ball better than me. We're naturally competitive. We're naturally the aggressors. We're naturally dominant. We're naturally testing each other and holding each other to a certain level. That's within our nature. So when it comes down to like attaining women, you see a lot of dudes that don't get a lot of women. And when you see guys who can get women, a lot of the time, maybe they had certain teachers, maybe they had certain natural skills, maybe one was more attractive, the other one did a lot of trial and error and developed his game. You see why a guy can get pussy.
Yeah.
Whereas women don't have to work and earn that. A woman can literally go up to a guy, and as long as she's not butt-ass ugly, she could say, hey, you want some pussy? And the guy will fuck. Now, even if she is butt-ass ugly, you going to have that thirsty-ass nigga in the right scenario, and he might still fuck. Whereas women, they require the extra. They require to see that you have some type of physical genealogy. I don't know the term, right? Your DNA has to be good. Or what you provide has to be good.
Right.
Yeah.
And even when you have one that is in a high enough bracket, that doesn't mean she won't cheat on you. If you have a lot of money and you pay all the bills and you do everything that she wants you to do, that's all fine and dandy. She might stay your wife. That don't mean she's not going to get some side dick. And if she's fucking you and letting you borrow the car and doing all this shit, all that means is that you fit the physical aspects that she requires. But if you never gain the money to support a family, she is going to leave you for that nigga that you look like he's he a bitch, he whatever. At the end of the day, she's probably going to go marry that nigga and still fuck you and get pregnant by you and have him raise the kid. It's like, this is why, like, it's not to say that both don't exist. It's that when you understand the biological functions of a woman, if she does not respect you, if she is not, if a woman is not attracted to you, she's not going to fuck you unless you're doing something for her, at which point it's transactional. That's not love. And if a woman is attracted to you, but you don't provide, she's going to fuck you. That's nature. That's not love. And that's what we need to understand. When we look at couples that last for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, right? It's because that couple had a certain balance and an understanding within them. Most of the time, you might see that couple that lasted, that man worked hard as shit. He was a good example. The woman that he had respected him and held his name high in the household.
Yeah.
He was holding the bills down. He was the one doing everything. And
I don't see a relationship working out long term if it's not like that. Honestly.
And that's the fact. And that's the issue right now, right? It's because most people don't understand it. Whereas back in the day, it was more like it was the norm.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you got to get the father's blessing before you could get married. The father is going to want what's best for his daughter.
I still feel like you should do that. Personally,
you definitely should.
Like, I plan to do that. I mean, I don't have a girl right now, but I plan to do that with whoever I do that with in the future. It's like,
but real quick though, because I wanted to dive into all of it to encompass both. But what were your thoughts? Because I had cut you off before and said I was going to dive into it later. After everything I just said, what are your thoughts on that?
So, like, it is very overwhelming to
look at it that way.
To look at it that way, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, like, to change my perspective of what I thought earlier, you have to agree on it now. Because, like, if you see it one way and then you learn a new way of seeing it, and it's like, what side are you on? Right. You know what I mean? You see what I'm saying? Like,
I feel what you're saying.
You dominant. You know what I mean? Like, you got those confident, ugly dudes, but like, you're only there for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
But you got to keep in mind though, if you got the confident, ugly dude, is that nigga broke most of the time? And if he's not,
that's what I'm saying. Like, you're like, what is your reason? Like, what are you there for? Like, that's how you see it now. Like, you got to understand, like, her perspective, like, for real. Like, all right, you's a confident, ugly dude. Either you giving out good dick,
because I feel what he's saying. I get what he's saying now. Like, I didn't even get it. I get what he's saying, bro. That's
what it is.
But like, it's crazy, bro. Like, that's how you gotta think of it now. Like, it's like embedded. Like, all right, you's a dumb rich person. All right, so which one you doing right? You gotta be rich.
That's where the fucking the pool
ain't hitting it right because you dumb as shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So like, bro, that's crazy, bro. Just like thinking about it, like, bro, I don't know, man. It's two sides of a coin, bro. So you gotta think now, like, now you gotta think about it. Like, you can't even think of it in your own your own opinion. Like, you really have to get a sample of people to really understand what they think of it, like, think about it. You know what I mean? So
I'll
it's
talk
like,
more into the mic.
Like, you really have to get their sample to understand of what they think of the situation, like of where they think they are at. You know what I'm saying? So like, Bro. It's just crazy, bro.
The main problem is right. A woman will not admit that, and
they definitely won't.
And a guy,
I definitely agree on you.
A guy is most of the time not gonna see that. Like it all depends. Like my whole topic now, or not topic. One of the key conversations that I feel like I'm gonna continue to have with different people that I come across is our opinions on love.
Right.
The concept of love. You know, I had a back and forth. Was that last night with AJ?
There's multiple concepts of love, bro.
See, no, but all right, so we're not talking about like, you know, mother and child, father and child, brother and sister love. We're talking like specifically romantic, like significant other love, right?
Right.
So when we talk about significant other love, people love the idea of love. People want to believe that, yeah, I'm going to find the right one and we're going to be together forever and we're going to hold each other down. Where in actuality, there's no such thing as the right one. You know, it's all about the person who is willing to fulfill their duties, and that is what it is.
Whoever's fit for the position,
and not on both sides.
Period.
Whereas a woman loves to indulge inside the idea of it being emotional, and it's that right person, it's the vibe. Well, of course, you know, because they're hardwired not to expose their own hypergamy. Where it comes down to it, a man is going to get rejected if he ain't got shit to offer, and he's going to realize that throughout his life. If you don't know how to have good conversation, if you don't know how to sling some good dick, if you don't know how to get some paper and get some attention in different ways,
and you ain't shit, bro.
You're going to be a lonely ass nigga. It's not to say you're not shit or you don't got potential.
No,
the point is you're not going to get the things that you want, whereas women don't want sex in the same way we want sex. I feel like the want for sex and the control of the desire to want sex for a man is power. It's motivation, because it's deeper than that. You know, either you work to get pussy and you could just learn how just to get bitches, or you take that energy and direct it into your purpose, at which point you have something to stand on and bitches will come to you.
Right.
Whereas women, a lot of them have been misguided based on society. Like hypergamy is forced on men, whether we understand it or not. Whereas women, they're able to ignore it and indulge in their sexual attention opposed to their actual values for a decent portion of their life. And that's why we are at where we're at as far as the divorce rate, as far as like the whole occurrence of women saying, oh, where the good men at? Niggas ain't shit. All these different things. It comes from them indulging into different things that they naturally shouldn't or wouldn't. We're in a society where we have certain privileges. We have certain protections. There are certain things, like as soon as birth control came, things changed. But that's getting a little bit deeper. I want to hear more of y'all thoughts before we get deeper. Twan?
You good. I'm good. I don't got nothing to say. I'm let that sink in for
What's your thoughts, Josh? I took a second to step into what I was talking about with him.
I mean, I feel like that like hypergamy can touch on a lot of different areas. Like, and I feel like we heard that in the book, which I know they didn't get to hear that, but
yeah,
you know, in terms of hypergamy, not caring about whatever it is that you bring to the table, depending on how she's feeling, it's like, or what her cycle is or whatever.
Not to cut you off, but why do you say it doesn't care about what you bring to the table? I would argue it specifically cares about and only cares about what you bring to the table.
Well, I'm saying in terms of like a woman choosing somebody else, like choosing I guess a more fit partner or a better partner, or like in the situation, it doesn't care what you did for her prior to her doing that. Like
right.
And for me,
I agree with you.
For me, like that's a hard thing to accept.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's really it. Like at its base for me, it's like it's a hard thing to accept, because it's like you kind of see it like practice.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of see it throughout like your friends' relationships, and like I'm thinking about high school and like certain
when
friends
children,
I've had in
like
certain
children act within their hypergamy like way more than adults do, or they're more open and honest about it, I would say.
Yeah.
It's like kids tend to be more honest at all, but like, you know, you might not have the emotional intelligence to be able to describe certain things in a way you should.
Yeah.
But like a kid will be like, oh, you're fat. Like, oh, you're ugly. Like kids can be vicious. But then when you grow up a little bit, like you see it, like the niggas in the football teams and basketball teams got all the girls. The nerds didn't really get no attention. The cheerleaders
definitely see it when you get high school.
Like you see it. Like I feel like those are the key terms. And when you get a little older, things change a little bit. We're less honest about it, and especially within women, they tend to compromise a bit more. So it's the same reason in high school she's gonna go with the jock nigga over the nerd nigga, whereas in the mid-20s you might deal with the nerd because he make good money.
That makes sense. It's like their priorities are different.
Exactly.
Like, so
the clock is ticking.
They got a different set of expectations. And it's like, I think that's why as a man you should focus on raising your own value.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? In terms of what you do and what you pursue in life. Like, focus on your goal. It's funny. It's actually funny as shit because, like, I be thinking of anime, like, when I think of this, because it's like, anime characters for the most part are like focused on one goal, like and the types of animes we watch, like niggas is fighting and they trying like save the world.
Yeah,
they trying. It's always the same stigmas, the same like.
Maybe that one John, he just oblivious.
Yeah,
because he on his.
Because bro, he don't even know like that's even an option.
You
know what I mean?
About it.
And I feel like that's how oblivious, like that's how you need to be. Like that's how focused on your goals you need to be in that same sense. Like you gotta, because that's what's attractive to them. That's what's attractive. And I mean, honestly, that's what's best for you at the same time.
Yeah.
So like and if it's nature, that's why it's set up that way, because it's A, the best thing for you, and B, the most attractive thing for them. Like, so it kind of makes sense. At the end of the day,
best for them too.
But that's where the one of the bigger issues comes within it. In the same way they say hypergamy doesn't care if you change your college plans to accommodate her.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you're thinking about it from the sense of love. You know, the quote unquote like unconditional romantic love. Which I said this last night, I'll say this here. I don't believe in the idea of unconditional romantic love. That's not to say that a father isn't going to love his child, or mother isn't going to love his child, or brother ain't going to love his sister.
Right.
It's to say when you talk about I'm in love with this woman, I want her to have my babies, I feel like you need to keep certain things in mind and not be deluded.
I mean,
you could say this woman is perfect for me. That's your decision based on what your criteria is. But when you start to say, yeah, I love this woman, I'll do anything for her, that is where the issue comes. You can never do more than what a person deserves. When you do that, they appreciate what you give less.
Nah, yeah, and I feel you on that. And I mean, I feel what you say, like what you said prior to this video, like talking about standing on your principles and like
right.
And maintaining your masculinity in certain aspects.
Yep.
So, like, I mean, like, I can relate that to something a lot simpler when, like, you tell your girl, like, I'm about to leave. Like, I told you the story about, like, how my grandma and my grandfather operated in terms of something that simple. My grandfather said he was about to leave in 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, he got up and left. It didn't matter if you was ready or not. And so she respected that. And if he said he was about to leave in 10 minutes, in 8 minutes, she was at the door ready to go.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
And that's her telling the story to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's not him telling the story to me. You feel me? So I feel like that, looking at it that way, it's like, all right, you gotta maintain a level of masculinity. Like I said, you gotta maintain a level of respect between you and your girl. She's gotta acknowledge that even though she may want A, B, and C at certain times, that you're the man and like you understand she wants this, but you know what's best at the time, or like you can't do it at the time, or whatever the case may be. It's like, especially if she's asking you for something, like whether it's money or like, you know, can we stay a little bit longer with the situation I just said? It's like, no, I'm ready to go. We got to go. Like, we got other stuff to worry about. Like, it's probably discussed beforehand. We're leaving at this time. You know what I mean? You don't just move. If it's my wife, we're not just moving without planning. Yeah. You feel me? I'm not saying that I'm the best at planning. I'm not a person that plans. I'm a person that likes to be spontaneous. But if it's me and my wife, we're going to be on the same page. Like, that's how I feel. So, you know, it's like we know what's up. Like, you know what's up. We're not gonna have a back and forth about how you feeling right now in the moment. Like, so it's certain things like, I don't know. I always think about it, like, I want to be the best husband I can be in the future.
Mm-hmm. Face the money. Yeah.
My fault. But I want to be the best husband I can be in the future. But at the end of the day, I also like need her to understand that if I'm making a decision that goes against what it is you want in the moment, it's for the best. It's for the both of us.
I agree.
For the best for the both of us. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, so, you know, I'm not saying that like I always got the answer, I'm always right, whatever. Like, I can't look at it that way because that's selfish. That's you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be that way, but it's kind of like it's like an understanding. It's like you chose me for this
for a reason.
Yeah, like I feel like you chose me for this reason to provide and to protect and to lead you in a certain sense.
Well, you should have that understanding first, especially in this day and age where a lot of women argue that they want to be strong and independent and they don't need you and they want somebody to partner up with them and 50-50, because most of the time that's lies and they won't respect you long term. A woman wants a man who can lead her. It's like, so as long as you understand that a woman should be your most trusted advisor. You feel me? She should hold you down on your plan. You're the spearhead.
And in every relationship I've been, like, it's interesting you say it like that.
Yeah.
Because in every relationship I've been in, I mean, obviously there are successful relationships, but in every relationship I've been in, period, like, they're asking me, like, what do you want to do? Like,
right.
What is it? How do you want to move in the situation next? Like,
right.
They're not trying, like, when we're operating together, they're not trying to make a decision without asking me first.
Right.
Like, and not to say I wouldn't do the same thing.
See, and you shouldn't.
But
you shouldn't do the same thing, and you should be worthy of them asking you.
No, but yeah, and I feel you on that. But the thing is, like, that's what I was about to say. Not to say in certain situations I wouldn't do the same thing.
Mm.
Like, and that's certain situations. But, like, if I'm like, yo, like, I'm trying to do A, B, and C, are you, like, the way they approaching it is like, I want to do this, but if you're not okay with that, then, like, we can, you know what I mean, do whatever else.
Right.
The way I'm approaching is I'm trying to do A, B, and C. Like, so, like, what do you, I don't know how you feel about that, but that's what I'm trying to do. You feel me? It's like it's a difference in the, like, I mean, even the energy, I guess, but it's a difference in, like, the expectation of the conversation itself. Mm. It's like, when I'm asking you, like, I mean, you ask your girl, what do you want to eat? Like, they never know. They're asking you, like, anything, what you want to eat.
Yeah.
So,
you feel me? It's that same conversation.
From what I'm hearing, it's a way that you can tell whether you got the spot or you don't have the spot.
What do you mean by the spot?
The
high value guy.
The high value guy.
Right.
Like, you could tell in the tone of voice. You could tell by the way that she moves, the way that she carries herself, and how she perceives you. That's where you're coming from.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like you're coming from.
Yeah, because...
So, like, it's not that you have... All right, so now that it's an eye-opener because now you're not focusing on where you're at with her. You know that you are her first pick.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
I feel like that is true, but I feel like the more important understanding is, like, having understanding that temptation will always be there from both sides.
Temptations, you can never break temptation.
It's like it will always be there.
You can never break temptation.
So no matter where you at, you have to, as long as you understand the temptation of both.
Right.
Naturally, it's harder to avoid. It's easier to avoid.
But
like,
you can never
niggas
break
being
it.
hurt and shit like that.
Yeah.
Well, understanding where you at and where she's at, and see where you need to. Okay, some.
Well, I mean, I was kind of.
Right.
I mean, but I think he was kind of touching on what I was trying to say for real, because, like, I didn't think of it that way, but it was more like me trying to touch on, like, you know, you talk about playing your role, and it's not like to fit you in put you in a box, but, like, as a man, you have a certain role in a relationship. As a woman, you have a certain role in a relationship. I think we can all agree with that.
Yeah.
So, like, if we're talking about that, you know, my role is going to put me in a leadership position. I'm not saying that, like, I'm calling all the shots, making all the decisions all the time. Like,
Yes,
but for the most part, like that's what's going on. You feel me? Like, and
I feel it's like I understand that, but it's like with that, it's like you have to understand that rule is true, but that also means there will always be competition.
So
always.
now,
You can never be super secure.
I mean, of course.
So now what that one is,
there will always be competition.
You are the alpha of the alpha, which there's always someone who's going to want to take you. So now is what more do you have either in you or your pockets? You know what I mean?
Yeah, you should definitely have a balance, and I think that's what it comes down to, the man staying on the top of his shit and focusing on himself before all.
And that's when it went back to the grind and the anime thing. Because they don't give a fuck about nothing but that grind.
And bitches still want
sees that.
Even when you with the female, that's what you got to focus on over them. You got to prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying that you're more, like, I'm not saying that, like, you as a human being are more important than this other human being that you're with. Right, I'm saying, but you yourself, like me, Josh, I got to prioritize myself over even y'all. Like, I'm not even, don't even talk about a female, y'all. Because I'm me and I got to worry about myself first.
I'm going to get you.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, I feel like it's like your wife or your girl, she is a part of your world. She is not your world.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the distinction that it's got to make.
Then you have to go back to the standpoint where it's in your nature or their nature to find that person who is suitable
for that role.
Who is suitable for that role.
Right.
So regardless, it don't matter anymore of what you have. If it's not good enough, you still have to go back to the front point of where you started at, regardless.
Well, what do you mean as far as going back to the
like the provider or the sexual giver type, aspect?
Are you talking from a male or female perspective?
From the female perspective. From the male's perspective, is the provider or the sexual giver.
Well, like the expectations?
Yes.
Okay.
Just the expectations of it in general.
Yeah.
So, like, with the whole I'm dominant thing, or, you know what I'm saying, I have these genes in me, or it's like, you know what I mean? So, like, it still goes back to that. Are you that person to her? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And for you am I on my grind enough to
maintain her,
but at the same time, keep my nature to myself to be on my grind to see if I'm not suitable for her. Am I suitable for her?
Keep improving while maintaining your girl.
See, no, I'm with you. I'm with you, but you got to be careful. Yourself. You got to be careful how you word that, because it's like, it's not about looking at all points in time. You need to remember that you, as the man, are the prize.
Right.
So as long as you shouldn't look at it so far into how to maintain her, opposed to, is she fulfilling her duty as my wife, and am I the highest I could possibly be? Is my level at a place where I'm able to maintain this woman I have? It's not that I'm trying to win her, it's that I'm trying to understand. Because as long as you know what your level is and you maintain your assets based on what your level is, then you're good. But when your level drops and you look at your assets and you hold on to them so dearly, that could be an issue. It's like, you look, if you got a bunch of stocks and you make a lot of bread, that's all fine and dandy. But if your stock go down and you go broke, you have to downgrade houses.
Right.
Now, if you trying your best, you going into debt to maintain this house, that's irresponsible. I think the fucked up, like, cold-hearted way to look at it is that a wife is no different. A wife is no different. If you had mad bread, you was confident, everything was cool, you was fit, you got a bad chick, and then, like, your job just happened to lay you off, and then you go through a sickness issue, you gain weight, and then your confidence go down, you can't do everything that you might emotionally be inclined to do in order to keep that woman. You have to accept that, hey, I'm not at that level to keep her. It's a matter of time before she leave, and I'm not going to get emotional about it. Or maybe I got time to raise my value and get back where I need to be. Most women, I would say, probably aren't just going to leave you the next day after you go broke. They'll give you time. They'll give you motivation. They'll try to help you. And when they realize you aren't going to get to where they need you to be, they move on. Whereas a lot of men feel as though no matter what they go through, the woman that they put a ring on her finger is going to be there for them through thick and thin. That's not the case.
Yeah, there's always a certain amount of time before that becomes unacceptable.
Well, wouldn't that go back to what you said with the she's in your world, the world doesn't revolve around her type situation?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to make that decision to move on.
Yeah, so it's either you go ahead with your grind, bro, or you got to try and make something fair. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time,
what if you get into an accident and you literally can't you can't work out, so you get fat, your metabolism slow down, and it ain't even that you overeat and you just get on some bullshit, like you depressed, like some mental health shit hits you. You're not all the things that attracted her to you outside of your own control. You know, you could work on mental health issues, but chemical imbalances. You could work out, but if you're physically unable, you can only do so much. And when you go through these different life traumas, your confidence is affected. So when all these different things happen outside of your control, it's not about your grind, it's about your circumstances. And you have to understand that your circumstances being different is going to mean you can't maintain this woman. It's not about your own control at that point. And it's not even about her own control. It's hardwiring.
And how
I was about to say,
many stories have you heard of women leaving men at their lowest points in life? In particular,
we could look that up.
I'm not.
Couple. I've heard a couple.
I'm not saying it's
multiple, bro.
I'm not saying it's a concrete like statistic that I know for sure.
I'm pretty sure it is, but that's why I said we could look into it. Continue.
No, I'm just saying that even in media it's portrayed. And I'm not saying that that's a perfect example of what to do in a relationship, but I'm saying the fact that it's even portrayed in media, I feel like that speaks to the stereotype of how, you know what I mean, if a man is not on his shit, the woman is not going to fuck with him the same way as if he's on his shit.
You don't believe that?
I mean,
that simple. You don't believe it's that simple?
How about this? I put this into his perspective.
Especially all right, talking about if I came from a certain level of success and dropped down to a certain level because I lost my money or opportunity or whatever, got fired, whatever the case may be.
She left you.
Yeah. So it's you know what I mean? You see the level I was at before and my level dropped.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if it was because of something out of my control, my level dropped.
So what makes her think that it won't go back up? You know
exactly. And I'm not saying that especially even though y'all talked about the period of time, sometimes for women that period of time is a very short period of time.
Yeah.
To be honest, and I mean, I'm not saying all women are like that. There are a lot of women that will support you and will
temporarily,
for a while though,
temporarily.
Listen,
no longer than
what
6-7 years.
Is saying is,
I mean, yeah, but that's a long time to get yourself together.
What niggas is saying is, start the clock.
Yeah,
because I feel like the time limit.
I can agree with that.
The time limit is based on what type of woman that you're with,
right,
and your value when you dropped.
Yes. So it's all come down to all niggas saying is if you drop down and you on some bum shit, it's only a matter of time before you get left.
If Jeff Bezos started losing $10 million a day, how long would it be before bitches stop checking for him? I'm sorry to cut you off.
A while.
Nah, but that's
still a while because he's still a lot richer.
I think about the nature of the dick game.
But yeah,
he could be broke as shit. But still, multiple girls will still like him because
if he was broke, nope.
You think?
If he was broke, he's not getting the bitches. Him as a billionaire with over 100 bill, he could lose $10 million a day. So it would take him 100 days.
So the thing now would go for the attraction of the person.
He's not attractive in the conventional sense.
Okay, you got it. You won. Whatever.
I mean, I think this is funny.
You're right.
If you got $100 billion, you could lose $10 million a day. That means that's going to be $1 billion every 100 days. Okay, boom. If you got let's just say at that point, $3 billion would be, or $4 billion. Let's round up. A year is 365. So he's using $4 billion, less than $4 billion a year. That man has a lot of years left. Like, what, 40 billion? If he's all these different numbers, if he's losing 4 billion a year, 10 years is $40 billion. So you got another 30. You got 30 years. If he started losing 10 million a day, he got 30 years, over 30 years before women stop fucking with him. So when we talk about like the woman and the type of woman and when you start going on the decline and how long she'll wait for you to get back up, it really does depend on where you were when you started to drop, how long you can maintain a certain lifestyle, how long it take you to get it back when you hit the bottom.
Yeah.
And long term, women aren't built to sustain households. They get mad about it. They get resentful about it.
I feel like that's society.
I feel like that's nature. I mean, to some extent, I feel like just from my personal experience, looking at my grandmother and grandfather, it's like I could see that outside of just the things that I see from the outside perspective, hearing about different stories that people go through, whether it be certain statistics on women who fuck with dudes who make a certain amount of money. It's like my grandfather was never the ultimate breadwinner to my knowledge. He wasn't rich. They split the bills to a certain point. My grandfather got lazy and my grandmother started to resent this nigga. And they still together just because you get to a certain age, you ain't going to get nobody else and there's no real benefit to it. But it's like they never got married. They just been together. And my grandfather at a certain point got lazy. That being said, my grandmother is still the submissive one to it. Well, less now based on her physical situation. But prior to that, she was the one that wakes up in the morning. As soon as she get up, she making breakfast. She asks him what he wants. She bring him his coffee. It's lunchtime. What she wants, she cook it, bring it to him. It's dinner time. She cooking things that she don't even eat, but he do. She always fulfill her role, and my grandfather, to a certain extent, failed in certain ways. Even on the masculine role with him, like partially raising me, he didn't teach me how to ride a bike. My god sister did. He didn't walk me to school. My grandmother did. So when I look at what my grandmother had to handle, whether it be bills, whether it be Christmas, whether it be just life interaction, she held the brunt of that, and I see the resentment that is built up in her to this day. It just is what it is. But to some extent, he's maintained a certain masculine aura to where she look at it like, hey, it's no other option, so what the fuck? All right, it is what it is. And like, you know, once you get into your 80s, 90s type shit, you're not fucking leaving nobody for nothing. It's just you know you ain't gonna you have no options at that age, so you just deal with it. But the resentment don't go nowhere. You just know you ain't going nowhere. And that just is what it is. Like when you don't handle certain shit as far as how you're supposed to within your dynamic with your significant other, there's certain failures that come from that. Whether it be how somebody respects you, whether it be how they appreciate you, how you support them. If I know I got mad bread, but I'm an insecure nigga, I know I could get some pussy. I just got to pay for it. If I know I'm an attractive nigga and I'm broke, I know I could get some pussy. I just got to work on my game. Now, what about when I talk about I want to have a wife and kids? What if I say I want to have a 50, 60-year marriage? What does it take to maintain that? I have to be healthy. I have to make this bread. I have to maintain respect. Like, we don't even got to, like, continue using the word alpha. It really is respect and staying in frame. That's what I feel it is, really. If you understand what your frame is, the things that you require within your life, what your depiction of respect is, success is, and you can find somebody who is willing to work in your program, work within your frame, respect you, respect your decisions, but you value her enough to listen to her, and what she tells you, advice she gives you, benefits you long term. She plays a role to help you get greater, and the greater you get, you support your family more, and you have that balance, you could last forever. But when people get into the whole lovey-dovey, like anything happens, she got me, I could slack here, you calling out of work to spend time with your girl, you fucking up. It's like you have to constantly remain wanted by your female. When you get comfortable, you start doing things. She asks, if every time she asks you to hang out, you say, yeah, you're not hanging out with your regular friends no more. You're not seeing your family like that. You're not doing as much work as you can. You're going to get respected less, but you do so because you think she loves you and is worthwhile. Even though as you do these things because you believe she loves you, she respects you less for it.
Right.
And you go through these different things, and then you mad when you said, I never saw this shit coming. A man should always see it coming, and he should never delude himself to believe in the unconditional romantic love. Relationships are relationships. When we talked about plate theory, we're going to do a whole nother episode on that. But the whole idea is, if you have a girl that you're dealing with, deal with her for what you deal with her for. If you horny and you want certain girls just for sex, deal with them just for sex. If you got a girl that's good at accounting and she can help you out, deal with her there. If a girl is somebody that's cool and you like talking to her, whatever, talk to her. Be wary of what you say to her and understand how she benefits you. Because at every point in time that you hit her up to link and she come link with you, she's only there because of how you benefit her or the potential of how you could benefit her. So if you with a girl just for a conversation, you fucking up. You're giving her attention and she's not working for it. Girls love attention. You hit a girl up just to talk, you fucking up.
Girls love attention like men love sex.
Yeah. It's like you fucking her and there's no relationship. A guy should talk to his other guys to get advice on shit, to get opinions on shit, to vent. You speak with your girl and understand the dynamics. She wants a rock. She speaks to you for shit. You're the rock. And the moment you feel like she could be your rock, you are going to crumble. And that's what it comes down to a lot of the time. As long as we understand the dynamics, we could succeed. But a lot of people fuck up. They lose sight. They love what they feel. They never felt like a connection like that. They never thought somebody could be there for them. And they just fall into the idea of, yo, this girl loves me. I'm going to put a ring on her finger. She going to have my babies. And you mad when you lose your job and take the DNA test and the baby not yours. I literally just, like, we're going to do an episode on this. I mentioned this. One of my homies literally told me a story about how a woman tried to trap him. She literally had a whole other boyfriend who was infertile. He couldn't have kids. Like, he didn't produce sperm. So she got with him, trying to get pregnant by him. And she had lawyers ready to get rid of all his rights and go have the baby with some other nigga who couldn't get her pregnant.
Yeah.
We're going to have an episode on that. We're going to have an episode on that.
What?
It's crazy.
No.
What?
That's it right there. That's it right there.
Hypergamy doesn't care.
Yo,
she doesn't give a
Hold
fuck
up.
if you're the
Naturally-
biological father or not.
What?
Hell no.
Hypergamy does not care. This is what niggas mean.
Bro.
It's like you have to understand your value in her eyes.
I feel that.
And you'll get a natural understanding
Now, mind you,
if you truly understand hypergamy.
when we say alpha fucks, beta bucks, the homie she was trying to get pregnant by was a strong nigga, a military nigga. He got discharged because he was injured, but overall, he's a big, tall, Viking-looking ass nigga, know about guns, got his shit together for the most part. He could have been a decent father, but for all I know, maybe that other nigga just got better game. Maybe he might got a better job. Maybe she might look at him. He's smarter. He might get he might be rich someday. So I'm gonna ride with him, but I'm gonna get pregnant by this nigga. Ready to get rid of his rights and fuck him over.
Yeah.
It's like you
Bro,
can't get mad at it. You need to understand it,
bro.
Yeah, that's just different.
It's like, don't get mad. I always say, don't get
wild.
bitter, get better. Don't get bitter, get better. Understand. That's the key to life. Understanding
That's
shit.
crazy.
Bro, that's more than crazy, bro.
Yeah, because it's like if you understand it, you'll
That
be able
shit is
to
crazy.
brush it
that's
off
real-
easier
that's like
though.
True definition, bro, of the whole thing, bro. Like
Bro.
Yeah,
she's
bro,
literally the
it's
definition
real.
of it, bro.
It's real like that.
She's
this shit
the
is real. Niggas
definition,
ain't
bro.
talking bullshit.
Shit, he's strong.
Thought it was only in the movies?
He's strong. I need him. Yo, what?
No, it's not. I need him. It's I want to fuck him. That's what it comes down to.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I need him to
Nah,
for
you
these
need his
genes.
sperm. And
Yeah,
there you
for these
go.
sperms.
What she need is
He
that
can't
bitch
do
ass
it.
nigga with money. What
She's trying to have it best of
wants-
both ways, cuz. You know?
and that, but it's in their
But
nature.
it's in their
don't get
nature to
mad.
go.
I get that.
to
That's
get-
what I'm
go
saying.
both ways.
She was about to win
Get
for
the
a
best
second,
of both
but
worlds.
she's the true definition, bro.
Bro, she tried twice, miscarriage both times. My homie joke, he was like, "Yo, God was in my favor."
That's basically what he's saying. He said you can't have it both ways.
But think about how many niggas get fucked like that.
So,
I literally,
hold up.
Uh-huh.
When she did
How many
that,
times has that been successful?
When she did that shit, did the husband know that she was?
Bro, he said she had
he
2
knew.
miscarriages, so it never has been successful.
The nigga could not get her pregnant, so he
I'm talking about
understood
similar
that
situations.
the bitch was trying to get pregnant by a different nigga and
that's
have the baby
right.
with him.
No,
But I don't think she has any more kids.
No. See, what you not telling me is that he really agreed.
He went through with that. I'm cool, bro. He went through with that, bro.
See, and that's that bitch nigga shit, bro.
Thank you, bro. But
Hold up. He was cool with the arrangement?
We didn't talk about that. I'm just pretty sure he was aware of it.
I mean, if he
Like
was
I
aware,
said, we gonna have an episode.
if he was
so
aware
I
of it
didn't ask
and she
all the
did
questions.
it, then he was cool with it.
Bro, but at the same time,
Because there's no way.
when
We don't know.
My thing is, would you be okay with it? Would you be cool with it?
Fuck no. What?
Nah,
You a
would you be
bitch ass
cool with it?
nigga, and
Would
the
you be
girl
cool with it?
convince you it's okay.
I'm not a bitch
Bro.
ass. I don't know who you thought I was.
Dumb to let.
It's just a bitch
Some
ass
niggas
nigga.
are.
You ain't
Some
gotta
niggas
be
are.
dumb. You
Some
can
niggas
just
are
be a
that
bitch
bitch.
ass nigga.
Some niggas are that bitch.
Grav, you know me, and you know that's not going. That's
Look,
not going to fly.
But it's not about being dumb. It's being a bitch ass nigga. Because you
But-
could say it's
Yeah.
smart because
You know
could go
me,
pay
and you
for
know
some
that's
sperm.
not going to fly. That's
You
all
go-
I'm saying.
I'm with you. It's not going. I doubt
That's
it's going
all
to
I'm
fly for
saying.
anybody in this damn room.
That's all I'm
The
saying.
whole point. You
Even
could
if
be.
you
You could
pay
be a
for it.
smarter nigga. Exactly. You could pay for it, or you could be like, oh well. I mean, if you could go catch some other bitch ass nigga, the bitch ass nigga is looking at the homie as a bitch ass nigga, thinking, yeah, go trap that nigga. It's okay. Even though another nigga fucking your bitch and you okay with it. So it's levels of bitch ass niggas
in that
disrespecting other real niggas thinking they bitch ass niggas is wild.
All right, so the question is, was it really his folks though?
What you mean?
Like, all right. So the thing is,
Yeah, I heard.
if he allowed it to happen, was that his friend?
No, they didn't know each other.
Oh, all right. I was
Yeah,
about to say,
the girl got with my homie, and then tried to trap my homie, having a whole other nigga that nobody knew about on the side.
Wow, that's
Bro,
still disrespectful.
That
He came out on top. He ain't no
That's
baby.
crazy.
He avoided the trap. God was looking out.
But like I said, we're going to have a whole episode about this where we can discuss it because that goes into the keys of it. That really do, and it's fucked up. It's so sad, personally, but I feel like there was a point in time where I didn't really fully grasp the understandings of hypergamy, and I had a certain amount of bitterness, right?
Yeah.
Whereas now I grasp it enough to where I can say, don't get mad at women. Don't get mad at women. Just understand the circumstances that led to actions. And a lot of the times, as men, we might feel inclined to get mad at other men just because we see ourselves in them and we want to better each other.
Yeah.
Whereas women are in competition with each other most of the time, like subliminally. Men are more of head forward competition. Like a man could like beat your ass in a basketball game and then practice with you and teach you how to get better. Whereas a woman, the women probably outside of sports, right?
That competition
on a hypergamic level, they're gonna hold each other back. They're not
like
gonna
that.
help as much.
Like between men, that competition is like a little more respected, and like you said, it's up front. It's proven.
Yeah, women have
Like,
silent competition.
Yeah, and it's weird. That's always been weird to me because for me, it's always been like, if I say, I feel like I'm better than you at basketball, let's play 1-on-1.
Exactly.
The other dude is like, word,
yeah,
bet, like, you feel me? Let's play 1-on-1. We playing the 12. Like, what's up?
Yeah,
and then whoever wins that game is the better basketball player. Like, that's
you want to know what's the funny comparison though? In the same way, like let's say you playing a basketball game with some niggas you just met on the court, random court you've never been to, right? So let's say even if y'all playing, a nigga might talk shit, be like, yo, man, your left leg look a little weak, nigga. You ain't about to and then they try to juke you in a certain way, or you need to work on that 3-pointer, nigga. Your arm is fucked up, or you need to.
Like me.
Niggas talking shit, but really they giving you advice during the game.
You
They
can't
might
leave
be
me open,
talking
bro.
shit, whereas the woman
make
is
it
going
every
to tell the
time.
fat chick she looks beautiful.
Yup.
You peep that? The woman's gonna tell her fat friend she looks beautiful going to the club,
bro.
not being real with her.
And that's the
Whereas
shit
the
right
man
there.
is gonna talk shit.
that whole-
and
It's like,
giving
yo,
you real
that
advice.
fly is that fit his ass, bro. You gotta change.
Talking to the mic.
Or you gotta think about the clique stuff, yo. Like how certain good looking females, they hang out with a group of old ugly females, you know what I'm saying? Just to shine a little bit. Or that one, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
That one ugly chick hang out with the uglier chick. Yeah, bro. Like you gotta think how things is, bro. Like it's
I
so
know
crazy,
exactly what
bro.
you're
Like
You stand out from the crowd. All these different things.
I feel like
bro,
that's
it's so
because
crazy,
women
bro.
are women go for what they want. I feel like men don't because we're shamed and we're shamed for going after what we want.
It's not that we're ashamed.
Continue.
I was about to say, you probably going in the same perspective I was going.
Yeah, I want to hear your thoughts.
I was about to say, it's not that we're ashamed. It's that
we're ashamed when we try to do shit that is naturally masculine. Niggas try to come at us for it.
I mean, I would agree with you there, but like talking about going for what we want, that's like slightly different.
Yeah.
Continue your thoughts, Don. We
I was about to say, if you're talking about like ashamed of going after what we want, certain males go after not what they want, but what they perceive as
what they can get.
Yeah, or beneficial to a certain point.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So like, what they want is what they want. You know what I'm saying? If they want something, they're going to go after what they want. You know what I'm saying? It is whether they leave them or not. Whether they going, you know what I'm saying, provide with them, fight with them, whatever. Uh-huh. If they want what they want, that's what they going to want. You know what I'm saying? Like, certain, and then you got the other males is, shit, I just want it just for this. Or, you know what I'm saying? I just want it for that. And then you got the whole other side of, well, shit, I don't know. I'm just going to keep testing this out just to test waters until I feel like.
From the male perspective or female?
From a male's perspective. Like certain males, they'll be like, shit, I'm just going to keep testing this girl out, testing this girl out, testing this girl out.
Are you talking sexually or deeper than that?
Like, deeper, like emotionally. Like,
you think men...
physically, they'll see it. Like, physically, every male sees what they want.
Yeah. On
them. Or in general, inside, depending on how they feel about the situation.
About the girl?
Yes.
Okay.
So, like, whatever else comes after that, comes after that. You know what I'm saying? Certain males. But then you do have certain males that go for only what they want. What they want.
All right. I got to ask you a question, right? Because I know you probably haven't seen prior episodes of the podcast, right? We have an episode where it's called Women Are Sexual Objects Until Proven Otherwise.
I'm going to have to watch that one.
But how do you feel about that statement?
If you're going into it, then yeah, I kind of agree. But if you, I don't know, bro, because like I said, bro,
that's Mr. Smith, bro. You agree, bro. You agree, bro.
You agree, because your first main objective, period, point blank, no matter who you are, is, yo, do they look good or not?
Yeah. Yep. That's a
yes.
Yeah.
That's the first. That's the first thing in your mind is, hey, yo, they look good. Or they ugly as shit. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
Right.
Not, hey, yo, what do they have? What can they provide?
Right.
What's in their background? What
we're
they've been through? You know what I mean?
Don't give a fuck about that.
We don't. That's basically how we think. We think straight with a dick. You know what I'm saying? Straight mind. You know what I'm saying? That's it. So, you know what I mean? So I agree at the same time of what you're saying, but like, you still got those one or two, you know what I'm saying, that 1% of that dudes, you know what I'm saying? That's like,
all right, so let me elaborate.
Know her, you know what I'm saying? The weirdos, you feel me? So like,
let me elaborate.
They're not weird, but like, you know what I mean?
All right, so Pete, right? When I say women are sexual objects until proven otherwise, it's to imply that most men, like you said, when a man approaches a woman, most of the time, your initial attraction to that woman is sexual.
Right.
You know, you see, damn, she bad, or damn, I'll fuck, I'll do whatever, right? So you approach that woman. Now, in your initial stages, you're trying to have sex with that woman.
Right.
So you're getting to know her, and you're talking to her, you having different conversations, but your main objective is just to get in there, smash, right? Yeah. So, and that's understood. But then when we take that next step, right, let's say you hit. Now, if that's the only girl you hitting right now, you ain't smashing no other type pussy.
Right.
Well, maybe if her personality ain't that crazy, like, you know, you got the pussy, so you still hanging around her a lot. If the personality not that crazy, you might stick around a little bit just because you got some pussy right now. Mm-hmm. She might not be perfect, but you just like, yeah, this is some pussy right now.
But that's providing something.
Now, Peep, I'm keeping it a buck. So you might stay around just because you got some pussy right now.
Right.
Now, let's say you got multiple girls where you could fuck, right? Let's say instead of having one girl, you got 2 girls, 3 girls, 4 girls that you could potentially fuck not very much work put in. Like, you could hit them up, you could do whatever. They into you, you already know it. Like, you talk to them, whatever. So you got 4 girls instead of 1. At that point, when you have the one girl who is just pussy, then you have the second girl who every time she come through the crib, you get some pussy, but then she clean up your kitchen. And then the other girl, no, I'm dead ass. And then you got that third girl. That
she make platters.
But you got that third girl.
Platters. It's like,
every time she come through, you get some pussy and you get a fresh cooked meal.
Right.
And then you got that other girl that every time she come through, she give you some pussy and she help you with your job.
That is so.
She help you with accounting. She help you with whatever. You own a business, right? So
yeah,
out of those 4 girls, right, all of them give you pussy, right? You gonna value the girl who can cook, the value the girl who can help you with your business, and then the value of the girl who can clean over the value of the girl who just give you pussy. The girl who just give you pussy, that's just pussy, but the other girls give you pussy plus.
Yeah.
So you're going to value the plus over just the pussy.
Right. Your main objective is the 4th one.
So, no, but the problem is, right, a lot of women don't necessarily understand their value because they leverage pussy.
Right.
Whereas most men are approaching because they want your pussy. We do allow it, and that's
definitely
the issue.
do.
So if I want a girl's pussy and she know I want her pussy, and then she make me work for the pussy, that's a bet. Well, after I get the pussy, what else? Because I got what I wanted, and this is speaking as though you have those 4, like I said. Because if all you got is that one piece of pussy, then maybe that one piece of pussy will keep you. But if you don't have that, if you have more than that, if you have those 4 options, well, what makes you better than the other 3 that are all giving me pussy? That's where, like, women forget that every woman has a vagina. Every woman has the potential to give me this innate thing that I want. Why do women get wifed? It's not because of pussy. Women don't get rings on their fingers because of pussies by real niggas. No, I'm saying by real niggas, though.
Oh, okay.
A real nigga is not putting a ring on the finger of a woman for some pussy. A beta might. A, like, simp, bitch-ass nigga might. Just for pussy, he might.
Yeah.
A real nigga is not putting a ring on a finger for pussy.
Yeah.
So when a woman don't understand what that means a lot of the time, where I'm like, so why is he putting a ring on your finger? It's not pussy. If it ain't pussy, what is it? And if they can't say nothing, then it's an issue.
They simping.
It's an issue, but like I would love to hear a woman say, all right, if I were to go up to women, I'd be like, yo, so you're married, right? All right, so why did your husband put a woman on your finger if not for pussy? I would love to hear women say, well, I help him with the accounting at his company. I love to clean and I make sure the house is spotless. I'm a great cook. I'm a school teacher and I really just want to be a homeschool teacher for my children when I have them. All these different things that a woman could say, but most women don't have a fucking answer is the problem. You got a lot of bitch-ass niggas that will stay just for pussy opposed to stay based on what is being provided for them. Whereas a woman will not fuck you unless they believe you can provide for them. When you get some pussy from a woman, she fucks with you. Now, most niggas don't take that extra step and ask, why did she fuck with me? Maybe they think their game is that tight, even though they don't know how to fucking talk and they just got some bread. Maybe they think that girl really just loves him when really he just got some good dick. Yeah. Like, it's all these different misconceptions that we have as men based on how we're taught and how we come up, and we don't get it. And this is why we're so confused, and we say we never saw this happen when we get divorced after 30 years.
That makes sense.
It's the problem. What's your thoughts, Dom?
Bro, you learn something new every day, man. And it's like, I'm so happy I'm a fast learner, but like, it's still overwhelming, bro, because you got to think of like how much shit we go through that we don't know that we're going through. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just to sit here and think, like.
See, that's where it comes down to controlling your frame, right?
Yeah.
I forget what particular video it was. This wasn't even like part of Rolo. This shit I saw like months ago where it was a woman. This is actually the first video on this page, on the Big Cat page, right? Where I did a video with a friend of mine. And she and I had both talked about my whole experience getting into this whole RP shit. You know what I mean? And we listened to a video talking about what the role of a woman is, right? And this woman broke down what she felt the role of a woman is and broke down what a man is. And in this, like, me and this particular friend of mine were watching it, and I'm like at one point she told me to pause it, and she said, well, that could sound toxic. And I had to, like, straight up say, I'm like, well, I mean, up to this point, I agree with everything she said. Like, I have no disagreements. And and I might be messing it up a little bit, but just to kind of recap a little bit of what she was saying, was that a man starts by conquering his mind. Then he conquers the space around him and creates a home, and he conquers that. And then based on his home, he can expand his space. And as men, we are naturally inclined to constantly expand our spaces, take on more, not more than we can, but take on more and always get stronger. As we build as men, we pull things in. And that's where you can start off. You can start off with a home, then maybe you go into a car, and then maybe you go into different assets, different things that can help you. But and this is where women might have an issue with it, but this was a woman saying this, right?
Right.
A woman is one of a man's assets. Women might be like, am I property? Or are you here to control me? No, you decide to be my asset. I don't force you. You decide to be my asset. Now, you're my asset because you understand what's going to happen. Think about it. Would you rather be the guitar of a bum on the street or the guitar of a rich nigga who could pay for new strings on point, who could shellac the wood at any point, who can fix it if it breaks, who can make sure you're in prime condition at all points. You got a nice dry air space, a nice shelf to sit in. You good, you perfect, you prime condition. You sound beautiful every time you played. Would you rather be the guitar of a bum or the guitar of a rich guitarist? The guitar of a rich guitarist.
Right.
So when we talk about women as property, it sounds fucked up, even though the privileges are so much. Would you rather be a single mother or the mother of a father who could provide? And that's what it really comes down to. So I'm finishing, right? So, like, when it comes down to it, right? If a man works on his mind, he maintains himself, he understands what he has to do to maintain his value in this world and builds his value in this world, he's going to have certain women attracted to him. Mm-hmm. If a man picks a woman who can help him increase his value to this world, then he will choose her. If this woman is not different from any other woman, if this woman has no value that any other woman couldn't provide, then that man will not keep her unless he needs to. If you're not necessary, you will not be kept. Nothing is unconditional. And on a higher level, men understand this. A woman's job is to support her man and support her family. A man's job is to support himself and to support his circle. A woman is going to be in his circle, and children will be in his circle. As a man, we will support our property. We will support what is in our circle. We will defend and fight and do what's necessary to hold down what is ours. A woman's nature is to nurture, have children, and protect her children, not her man.
Right.
A man's nature is to protect his women and children. A woman's nature is to protect herself and her children.
Right.
When you start looking at in sickness and health, like, and that's where, like, one of the problems I have with religion, but just with marriage in general, the vows we share now on a legal standpoint, sickness and health is unrealistic. A man will support his woman if she supports him and helps him increase. A woman will leave her man if he doesn't support her. A woman makes $100,000, a man makes $150,000. She could be with that man. The moment she has to pay more bills, start the clock. And that's the issue. Men don't believe in the clock. They don't believe that, she's mine. Like, she not just going to leave me because I don't. No, she's different.
That's definitely not how it works.
That's not how it works. You have to understand what you provide at all points. I'm not going to make, let's say I make $100,000 a year.
Right.
And I got a girl that make $80,000 a year.
Right.
All right, she might date me if I'm holding most of the bills down. Let's say my job fucked me over and now I'm making 50. Start the clock. You got niggas delusional enough to think that there's no clock. Start the fucking clock. If I make $100,000 owning my own shop,
right,
and my wife make $50,000, but she wants me to like sell my shop and take a different job because she wants to have me have more time off so she could go to school and work this extra job. If I do that shit, I'm stepping out of frame. Start the clock. The moment she becomes the sole provider, she makes most of the money. She's making 100,000 now, and I'm making 50. Start the clock.
I get exactly where you're coming from.
It just is what it is because it's gonna come.
And she's more inclined to meet somebody who makes more bread than you do.
No cap.
But even beyond that, even if you just make the same amount,
she'll look down on you for it.
She'll look down on you for not being the provider. She'll look down on you for not being above her.
Right.
A man could look a woman in the eyes even though she's shorter than him. When a woman looks at a man that's shorter than her, she looks at his feet. It's like, I could look you in the eye if you shorter than me. You gonna look at my feet. You're not looking me in the eye. You looking at my feet. Matter of fact, hold on. I'll reword that.
That's so.
I'll reword it to make it. I feel like this is the better way to put it.
I get what
a woman who makes more than a man is gonna look at the top of your head, where a man who makes more than a woman is gonna look at her eyes. It's like literally one sees you for you regardless of where you're at because it doesn't matter for a woman. Whereas one can only see the top of your head because you're lower than me.
Men are true romantics. Shout out last vid.
That's a fact. Disrespectful.
Another reason why.
Is it? It's not disrespectful. It's natural. Don't get bitter, get better.
I feel that, but I mean, I feel like it's naturally disrespectful.
Nope. It's natural. Don't get bitter, get better. Don't. You look at it as disrespectful. That's a certain level of bitterness. You need to have an understanding and grow from it. Don't get bitter. Get better.
It's like not understanding that you was built for this because they taught you to be built for something different.
It's something you can't control.
But naturally, you was built for this, bro. You was built for this naturally, bro.
You can't control it, bro. It is
just used to a different.
That's crazy though. Like yeah. I feel you. Like I really do understand what you're saying. It's like I'm not even disagreeing. It's just like it's crazy. It's hard to accept that.
To hear it,
it's hard to accept that. It's hard to hear it. Like as a man, it's hard to hear that, especially like thinking about what I've been taught up to this point. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, like that's hard to take in.
Bro, imagine how I came on there at first thinking about all these. I was in depth with it, like thinking all these different perspectives.
Yeah.
Bro, when you really just gotta think of the center point of it,
right.
Like.
It's simple.
It's so simple, bro.
It
it's
really
so
is.
simple that you would never think of it, bro. Like
it really is.
You would definitely look past it every single time.
Right.
And it's like, it's plain. It's in broad daylight, bro. Everywhere you go. Everywhere you go.
Real.
You cannot miss it, bro. You cannot miss it.
You can't miss this.
What you able to see it? It's like 3D glasses.
Right.
Bro, you can't even switch your shorts, bro, to go swimming, bro, without it being right there.
Yeah.
Like, bro, come on now, you can't even see a crab come out the sand, bro, without it being right there. Like, it's right there, bro.
And that's why you gotta look at it from the child perspective to a certain extent, because like when you see, you don't
right
question,
there,
you don't question why the football players and basketball players get all the pussy.
That's true.
Why? Because they the one in the gym. They got workouts. They the ones that's buff at the age of 14, 15, and 16. They the ones that got the confidence because they just tackle the fuck out of nigga and won a game.
I was about to say.
And is it a question why they fucking with the cheerleaders, the girls who are the most physical fit and athletic and probably got the best bodies? Is that a question? Like when you hear about a girl having a train rain on her in the fucking boys' locker room, are you surprised when all these niggas was the top tier niggas in the community?
Bro, he not lying, bro. Think about it.
Not.
I'm fucking weak.
Bro, think about when we at the lake, bro, and the females come out there and they see only certain niggas balling. Only certain people doing something. Go ahead. And then after the game, they always want to be in your face.
There you go.
Especially if you got something else on you.
Dominance and you show your level.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that, it's crazy how you see it like that, though. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, you would never expect it. I never expected it like to be that simple.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was way worse than what it was.
No. It's like
way worse.
Men
I really
don't
did,
understand.
You at first, when you don't understand, that's the thing.
Men don't understand, but they have to accept it. But once you understand it, you can see why and you can learn from your experiences now.
Facts.
Yeah.
And I feel like women might understand it a little bit more, and they don't have to be able to accept accountability for it.
That makes sense.
Like when you got every Jones feels like they're a 10. It's like they're able to live in a they're able to live in a stage of denial and not feel any of the effects of negative effects in the short term, per se. It might have them be fucked up in the future, but they can reap the fast benefits.
Yeah.
As opposed to men, we cannot reap the fast benefits from not understanding this shit.
Right.
We suffer in the long term.
Unless you fucking grind and work. You got a lot of niggas.
Yeah.
A lot of niggas get depressed, bro. It's like I realized where I was prior to my understanding of all these different things. And I see where I held myself back for so many years. Like my whole perspective was about the whole idea of love, the unconditional romantic love. I had no understanding of hypergamy. I had no true understanding of women's nature or male nature. You know, I remember, and I brought this up in other podcasts, but just so you could hear it, Dom, I remember my senior year of high school, there was a girl that I was talking to. She was a friend of mine, but I wasn't trying to get at her. It's just a friend off rip. From the moment I first started talking to her, it was like, yo, what's up? Like, I'm trying to get at you. I kept it a buck with her. She was telling me about how she's still getting over her ex and all these different things. I'm like, oh, yeah, I feel you. Now, me at the time, I'm thinking like, oh, well, all right, let me just be patient. She gonna fuck with me, whatever. Now, as an adult, me being with my RP awareness, I would say, well, the moment she says she's still getting over her nigga, that just means she's not into you. I didn't get it at the time. I'm thinking nah, it's like, oh, you were in a relationship. I get it. You know, emotions take a while.
It happens to the best of us.
You know, but I was just like, oh, well, let me just be patient, not understanding that if a woman wants you, she'll want you.
Yeah, at that moment.
Like, you telling me you broke up with this dude 3 months ago. You could have broke up with this dude 3 years ago if you still valued him high.
They're just sneaking the window type shit.
Or no, even deeper. Like, you telling me you broke up 3 months ago. You could have still been with this nigga for 3 years. And if you was into me, you fucking me. It just is what it is. But my whole mentality at the time was, oh, be patient, wait for her, get her to like you, be real with her, be friends with her first, have her know who you are. And that's where I held myself back. And then I even got to the point of her telling me she just wanted to be friends, and I still gave her all the attention and everything was still cool. And I even to this day, I'll say that was one of my favorite, like, female friendships that I've had in my life. I mean, I could see where, like, because it did come a point where I stopped really caring about it and about her, and I started dealing with other women, and she was a good friend as far as, like, showing me certain shit as far as how women think, and we would have certain discussions at certain levels where she saw that, yeah, I moved on. And it was kind of funny to me because, like, even diving into that friendship, there were certain things that happened because she ended up getting another nigga at a different point, but me and her was still friends. Then the nigga was coming at me at certain points in time thinking that I was trying to take his girl. But then I'm like, I had to keep it a buck with him. I'm like, yo, bro, if she wanted me, we would be together. Like, you need to chill. But then at the same time, like, some of the stuff we would talk about, like, if he saw our messenger, he probably have an issue. Like, I'm not going to deny that there whole time, regardless of what I said.
I can see why he might be
mad. But at the same time, homeboy couldn't be mad because then there'd be something that he doing wrong. You know what I'm saying?
Realize that she chose you, nigga.
Yeah, it's like you need to accept that. It's like, yo,
hold up, not the Facebook
like,
message.
because I joke about that shit. That shit was funny. Like we were really good friends. Like, even at that point, and had I understood how women work as far as validation and attention, I probably wouldn't have done that.